What's up, guys? Mickle here, and after 2.5 years, we finally have clarity that XRP is not a security. Well, in this video, I want to talk about the probability that Judge Torres's decision actually gets appealed. Now, this is something we have seen people talking about a lot on Twitter. There are some lawyers saying there's a 100% chance that this decision is going to get appealed by the SEC. In this video, I want to talk about whether or not I think that's going to happen, but towards the end of the video, I actually talk about XRP's price action right now. There's a lot of people who are disappointed that we did not see more of a rally in XRP's price. Guys, I want to show you why we are just getting started. I have a fascinating chart to show you. It's going to make you extremely optimistic on where we're headed. Make sure to stick around for that. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy videos just like this, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange upload down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I'm finally back from vacation, and if you saw my video that was titled XRP Wins, you probably saw that last year I went on the same exact vacation, and on that trip we had the SEC being forced for the first time to hand over the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass emails. Well, funny enough, I go back, and in this time we have a decision on summary judgment in the Ripple SEC case declaring XRP not a security. Pretty funny. I got to celebrate both times, which was awesome. Obviously, it was a little tough to make videos, but overall, I think you guys got a pretty good idea from what was happening from people like Jeremy Hogan. So for me, it was nice to be able to just sit back and enjoy it. I kind of want to jump into the repercussions though and really dive into what's going to happen going forward, because I think we're still going to see a lot in this case going forward. The good news is that we no longer have to worry about XRP being declared a security going forward. That is off the table for now, but there's going to be other parts of this case that carry on, and I think they're still going to be fascinating to this ecosystem as a whole. I want to start off and address the first thing, which Charlie Gasparino is having a lot of fun with right now. Now, when Charlie first started covering Ripple and XRP, he seemed like he was actually going to jump on the XRP bandwagon, but now this guy is a massive hater. So he tweeted out earlier today, so does Ripple have 1 billion in cash laying around or 1 billion in XRP that they will cash out to pay the fine, which dilutes retail? Another question I have for the management team. So essentially right here, we have Charlie Gasparino essentially trying to FUD, saying that, oh, okay, in order for Ripple to pay this fine that the SEC is going to issue them, because as you guys probably know by now, some of the SEC's arguments did win out and Ripple did have some offerings of XRP that were declared securities. Now, this doesn't mean XRP is a security. They just offered XRP in some transactions that constituted a securities transaction. Pretty much what John Deaton has been saying since day one. Some of their sales should have been registered, but essentially Charlie Gasparino is bringing up the question, hey, is Ripple going to have to dump XRP on retail in order to pay this fine? And is this going to dilute the total supply of XRP? Well, first of all, let me just say right now, if Ripple needs to sell XRP in order to cover this fine, that is more than okay with me. XRP just became the first digital asset with clarity in the United States, which is worth any amount of money. If Ripple needs to dump some XRP in order to get that decision, they can dump however much XRP they need to, because this is something any other project out there would pay billions in order to get. It's clarity in a market where the SEC is trying to deprive the market of clarity. This is absolutely critical, and the idea that Ripple having to sell XRP in order to pay the fine to get this win is some bad thing, it's pretty comical. But I just pointed out also in response to this, there's no dilution. XRP is a deflationary asset. Ripple has a lot of XRP, they can do whatever they want with their XRP. At the end of the day, I could care less if they sell XRP, because there's only ever going to be a maximum of 100 billion XRP in the market, and that number is ever decreasing. We have people losing their XRP, we have XRP being burned, so if Ripple sells XRP to cover this court case, well, one, they did it for a great reason because they got XRP clarity for the entire ecosystem. That's something that some people thought was impossible to get. And two, they're just losing their XRP. It's not like they're minting more, so Ripple selling XRP just means that people like me and you can gain more control over the ecosystem. Overall, this is such a bad bad point to make. He's essentially just trying to look for anything he can do to try to say, oh, this was bad for Ripple and XRP. At the end of the day, what this guy doesn't understand is Ripple would have paid $1 billion out of their pocket for this clarity. This is what they got. And funny enough, he's asking if they need to sell XRP, but if he just did any research, he would know that Ripple has actually said multiple times they already have $1 billion of cash on their balance sheet, way more than enough to cover the fine issued by the SEC. The maximum fine the SEC could give is like $700 million. It's not even going to come close to that because Judge Torres will probably bring it down to some fraction of the total amount. So this guy has no idea what he's talking about. It's just another example of people who don't like Ripple and XRP trying to turn this decision into some bad thing. Ultimately, they're failing miserably. Ripple is going to be able to pay this fine easily with money on their balance sheet. And the point I was making earlier was just that even if they did need to sell XRP, no one would care. We all understood how important this court case was. We all understood that Ripple using XRP to pay for this court case was more than worth it, and ultimately we ended up with something no other project's going to be able to get. So it's just so funny that some people have such a hard time understanding this. Now, I want to move on and actually talk about the possibility of an appeal by the SEC, and I think Stephen Hubert actually made a pretty good point. For those of you who didn't see the SEC's response to this case, I mean, the SEC put out one of the most delusional responses ever. They said, "We are pleased that the court found that XRP tokens were offered and sold by Ripple as investment contracts," and essentially go on and say how this was such a big win for them. Now, this is pretty ironic because pretty much any person out there who has a brain would tell you the SEC lost this case massively. They got Ripple in some tiny circumstances where they should have offered XRP as a security, but that doesn't make anything Ripple was doing was illegal. It just means from now on, they're going to have to register certain sales of XRP with the SEC. That's easy enough to do because those kinds of sales don't have to be instantaneously. It would just be institutions loading up on XRP for the future. But the SEC lost on the big issue, XRP being the security. So it's so funny that they came out with this statement acting like they won. Now, one thing I'll say about this statement is a lot of people are saying the SEC is definitely going to appeal this case. Why would the SEC appeal this case if they think they won? The SEC is coming out here saying, we are super pleased with the court's decision, so what's the SEC going to appeal? If they're so pleased, why don't they just stick with the decision? Now, this might just be a press statement they came out with, and it might just be some delusional press statement, and they're going to appeal anyway, because they know that none of this makes sense. But I just thought it was kind of a funny point to bring up. Now, me personally, my guess is that the SEC is not going to appeal this decision. At the end of the day, Judge Torres found what we all knew since day one. XRP cannot be a security. That's not how Howey works. So if the SEC is going to try to appeal that, it's just going to look really bad because no court is going to find that the asset itself is the security. We have seen since the Howey test was created over 75 years ago, there has never been an asset that was a security, so maybe the SEC wants to appeal and try to get more of Ripple's transactions designated as securities transactions, but the SEC lost the war here already, which was trying to claim that XRP itself was a security. Judge Torres' decision was so solid, there is no way that is ever going to get appealed, so I don't see any way possible the SEC would want to appeal this. Instead, I see the SEC and Ripple getting together over the next couple months and actually settling the rest of these issues out. This is not the case the SEC wanted. The SEC wanted a big crypto win. They fell flat on their face. Everyone knew it. I have a feeling the SEC is going to want to get as far away from this issue as possible and maybe look for a project that has an easier legal team to beat. They clearly bit off more than they could chew with this Ripple SEC case. I don't see them wanting to move forward and keep rehashing these issues they're never going to win on. And I want to finish this video off and quickly talk about XRP's price. There's a lot of people who are disappointed by the pump XRP went on. Let me just tell you guys, this is just the start. I have a feeling we are going to see a flood of institutional money into XRP over the next couple months. And as we can see, just by looking at the trading activity on Coinbase, all the trades are only going in one direction right now. We see 99% of people on Coinbase are actually buying XRP. And the reason for this is over the past 2 years, everyone only had a reason to sell XRP. It was in the middle of the Ripple SEC case. It was getting flooded massively. Everyone was saying Ripple was going to lose this case, and we were going through a bear market, so most people were decreasing their risk and just dumping their XRP to trade into tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But now what we're seeing is overnight, XRP actually leapfrogged Bitcoin and Ethereum on its regulatory status, so now there's absolutely no reason logically to not hold XRP. So all the people who are already fearful of this court case sold, and now most of the volume is people buying back in. I have a feeling we're going to see this trend continue because XRP holders know what they hold. We're not interested in selling at $1, $2, $3, and we're not even close to that. I'm not personally interested in selling at $10. I understand the price potential for XRP is so much larger. So there's not a lot of XRP holders who are looking to sell right here. We just got the best decision possible. But the rest of the cryptocurrency industry is slowly catching up to what just happened, and I have a feeling we're going to see a ton of buying pressure on XRP over the next couple months as people finally realize how monumental this decision was. And I wanted to show you one last thing because, guys, we were never going to have a XRP price pump of 10,000% overnight, but that doesn't mean we aren't still perfectly aligned for one. Blockchain Backer tweeted this out the other day, and guys, personally, Blockchain Backer's TA is not how I look at charts. What he does is absolutely outstanding, but I have no idea why it works. He's just like a wizard or something. But as we can see, Blockchain Backer actually tweeted out this chart right here, overlaying an old fractal of XRP where it pumps something like 1,000 to 10,000% over what's happening right now. And as we can see, back in the day, it's this lighter gray line behind the current chart. XRP went on its initial rip, consolidated, and then went for a massive leg higher, consolidated, and then ripped again. So what we're seeing right now in XRP's price is not unusual at all. We are on a small pullback, but I have a feeling we are going to see something like this. Now, me personally, this is always what I expected, but it's definitely nice to see Blockchain Backer also backing this up because this is a dude who's almost never wrong when it comes to technical analysis. So overall, I think we have to wait at least a couple days before we get disappointed on the current pump. I have a feeling XRP has a lot more stored up. We went on a massive rip instantaneously. We need a couple days to cool down, but as long as we can hold where we are and keep pushing to higher levels, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more big pumps ahead of us. We just need to wait a little bit and wait for the rest of the market to catch up to exactly what just happened. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.